You sent the link and I sent it out to everyone and I can resend it. But the first PowerPoint, someone had asked, can we send that? Is that something that's on it was the very first PowerPoint you showed. Is that PowerPoint easily accessible on that, from that link, or is it somewhere separate?
So what I have done is I have just built these literally a week ago because we are doing our assessment roadshow. And so it includes, I sent them to you, Carrie, and we can do one of two things.
I can send it out.
If you don't want, if you have everybody's email, the other thing I can do is I can put it in a universal spot that everybody can agree on, that you can retrieve it from on our DNN.
I'll send it out with this recording, and so then that will be available for everyone.
And just keep in mind for all of you guys, I have been building a lot of these resources. We've been doing our best in the assessment unit to provide resources so that this is a pretty seamless process. We do expect a high use of ICAs going into this fall, especially early on, starting into the year. So we're trying to have all those resources built and in place prior to. So if for any reason you need a resource that you feel you don't have, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can reach out to me directly, or Carrie can just connect you, however you prefer. If you reach out to me directly, I will give you these resources. Like I said, these PowerPoints I've created, you can use them in your district. As long as you use them for educational purposes within the district, you can use them as you wish.
So then, thank you. So the next question kind of goes in a different direction, but I just wanted to touch on it, but we will revisit it later. In your assessment calendar, we put in there that we do want our schools in comprehensive to take an IAB in the fall or in the winter and then kind of in the spring, but we're not telling you which one because that doesn't make sense, because according to your curriculum, you'd want something to match what you're doing. I know some of you are going to be using those focused IABs a lot more often because you can use them as an end of a unit assessment if you'd prefer, if everything's aligned to your curriculum. But I wanted Dwayne to go back to that first PowerPoint because that's where things change in terms of what can be taken where. In if you could share that one slide, because they're not really, you said something about high school when we talked about it yesterday. Dwayne, do you know where I'm going with this conversation?
And so this slide here, what this is essentially, I'll try to make it a little bigger. This slide, it shows you the ICAs. So to avoid any confusion, you have the interim comprehensive assessments are available in grades 3 through 11. When you go into the spring, into the winter, into the fall and early winter on using your IABs or your focused IABs as you wish or as your data determines based upon your reports from the ICAs. You have in your high school your small, these are the IABs are much smaller versions and they can be done. An interim assessment block in itself is between 8 and 15 questions. A focused interim assessment block, an FIAB, is between 5 and 8 questions. And these can be done, if you've never done them, we always say give yourself one class, give the teachers a class period to complete them. And those have grades available in grades 3 through 8 and then high school.
Okay. And so that's what we'll be referring to, and we'll be talking more about that as the year goes on.
And I'm just going to, if you have anybody in your district here, this is kind of small and I apologize for that. If you have anybody in your district that you look at and say, man, they would really benefit from attending some kind of training as it relates to interims, I'm going to send you again, I'm going to send this link, I'm going to put it in chat. We have an assessment roadshow built and we have these dates. I'm trying to do two things at once. I'll send this in chat first and then I'll go from there. Here we go. So you should have that link. It's our roadshow link. And again, it goes to the different Mass regions. Say, for example, you have, I'm going to go in the Four Rivers region just for the sake of showing this to you. It shows the date in which there is a training, August 25th from 9 to 3. It shows the agenda broken out, and it shows you the meeting link. It's a Zoom meeting. And these here, for example, if you have an educator who says, I need to know more about this, the results-driven practices is one of the slides that I was just showing you with score reports, looking at score reports and using data to drive your instruction and next steps. Your interims we've also just discussed, and that's the slide deck that Carrie is sending out to you. And then we have another presentation here called the Formative Assessment Resources. These are the details. This is the frosting on the cake, kind of that extra layer of tools that educators can use to help them in the classroom. So if you have an educator who you feel would benefit from attending any of these, we offer renewal units, have them attend these. And I understand if they can only attend one session one day, have them attend. A lot of questions we've had is, can I attend the Four Rivers Region Roadshow if I'm up on the High Line? Of course you can. This was designed originally, I made this, had everything lined out with administrators from across these regions back before COVID, the closures. So the reason I've maintained this, I've gone virtual, but I've still maintained that format and the agenda as designed by those districts. So it's just for organization purposes that you see these regions, and we have 9 different offerings with 9 different dates. So I'm sending you that link just to hand it out to staff members if anybody has any need for that training. And a lot of it is.
I'm a retired PE teacher, 23 years. This is my first year in counseling. Don't even ask me how I got into this world. Too long a story. I am in dire need of those trainings to learn about this world. And I would appreciate as much information as you can send to Crier. So either to me or to Bianca, because she'll forward it to me. So please, anything you can send me would help me.
Can you put your email in the chat box and then I can grab it from there?
I most certainly will.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I encourage you guys to take the link. Carrie, did that link come through in the chat?
Yes, it did, and I will reiterate it in my follow-up email. Thank you. We are almost coming to a close. So my question out there, is there any other burning questions to Dwayne or even to Julie at this time?